Pois é, gente, a pandemia acabou nos colocando para escanteio esse ano. Nós ficamos fora de campo sim, mas fora da pista nunca. E sabe por quê? Porque aos 45 do segundo tempo, quer dizer, na última volta, quase cruzando a linha de chegada de 2021, nós pegamos carona com o maior de todos os pilotos da Fórmula 1 para oferecer para vocês um programa que já chega cantando pneu. Vou conversar com um cara que tem o maior número de vitórias, o maior número de pole positions, o maior número de vitórias largando na pole position e o maior número de pódios. Ele, que foi um dos principais personagens da luta antirracista desse ano tão emblemático, o heptacampeão Lewis Hamilton. Apertem os cintos, que foi dada a largada. O espelho está no ar. O espelho está no ar. Hey! Oh, it's good to talk to you, my friend. I am looking to you and I am very, very happy. First of all, I want to say thank you very much for being an inspiration for us Brazilians and especially for us black people.
Thank you.
We saw you each Sunday, you were competing, we vibrate with you and we applaud you. It's such important to me having you of a positive reference to our kids. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for saying that. That's really kind of you.
I think you answered this question many times, but I need to do this. How is the feeling of being the best F1 pilot?
It's I don't know. It's a very, very strange. It's a very, very strange thing to even think of. You know, I grew up watching Formula One and loved Ayrton. That was, for me, I was like, that's the guy, I want to be like him. And, you know, I don't think there was really anyone in the sport, I would say, that looks like me, but I love what Ayrton stood for. And through Ayrton, I gained this love for Brazil. And I always wanted to be able to drive like Ayrton. And I think today, I would like to think that he would be proud of the way that I drive and conduct myself, hopefully. And so to be put in the same sentence as Michael, as Ayrton, as Fangio, it's the greatest feeling ever because I dreamed of this as a kid, you know. So I'm very, very, it's a humbling experience and I feel very honored.
But you were the first black guy to compete in a F1 race. Do you think in the future we are going to see more black pilots in this so expensive sport?
I hope so. I really, really do hope so. I think when I stop in, it's not going to be a long, long time that I have left of racing. There's not currently someone coming behind me. So, but what's really, really important is that the sport has so much to offer. It's not just driving positions. There's always been, there's marketing, there's engineering, and there's so many great jobs within our sport, and it's not diverse at all. And so what I know I can help change is that it will always be an expensive sport, unfortunately. So it's very difficult for kids, for currently, black families coming into the sport to spend that money on this. But getting a good education, becoming an engineer, being a part of the media team, whatever it may be, there's opportunities there, and I really hope that's something that we will see change in the near future. And of course, I hope one day we see a young lady come through and drive in Formula One. I hope we see minorities come through. I think there are some out there around the world that have started to race since I started. So I hope that they come through too.
It's a kind of emotional thing to talk about it because we are talking about hope. And I know about someone who has hope in you all his life, your dad. Your dad is your best partner. He used to work in 3 places to be able to finance your career, and you got it. How is it for you?
It's my dad. I feel very, very lucky that I had my dad by my side the whole way. He was my mentor. He is my champion. And whilst I stand on top of the podium after winning a race, I think what we symbolize as a team, there are many fathers out there, many parents out there that maybe don't know what to do for their kids, but most often I would imagine always want the best for their kids. And that was my dad. Wanted to create a better opportunity for me, for his kids, so that they didn't struggle the same way as he did. And now the baton is passed on to me. That's what I've got to do. I've got to try and make sure that I use this platform that he's helped give me to help my niece and nephew, to one day help my kids, help your kids if you have kids, and the future, because the kids are the future. So that's making sure we make sure somehow that young kids get the same equal and quality education, and are told that to dream big and keep chasing their dreams and don't give up on them, believing in themselves. That's what I'm hoping to pass along.
Hamilton, the way you celebrate your victories became symbolic. Was it planned, or it came by the emotion of the moment?
No, it definitely wasn't planned. And I think I don't like to plan for those things, because in my mind, I'm like, if you plan for it, then it won't happen. So on Sunday, I was hit with this emotion that I definitely wasn't expecting. I'm generally quite a cool, relaxed person, but all of my, sorry, my dog is snoring. Roscoe. My
Oh, what's his name? I'm sorry.
Roscoe.
Oh, look, he looked to us. Amazing.
Yeah, I think when I crossed the line, I had all this emotion of just through my life, there was a lot of obstacles that we face as a family, and my dad working how hard he believed and truly believed to the depth of his heart that we would succeed. So it felt great to finally solidify that, to confirm that belief that he had in me, and to reach the dream that we both had together. And so it was very, very emotional. And so the words that came out, I was thinking about me as a kid and what I could do for me as a kid. And those are the words that just came out.
Many athletes say that when they explain their opinion about racism, violence, and other things, it has a price. Do you agree with that? And if you agree, what is this price?
Yes, I think you will probably, at least up until this year, you would probably have seen people be very nervous to be open about their experiences, about the abuse that they may have faced. And the price is there's the backlash that there are people that don't think there is a problem around the world, people that don't understand what racism is because they've not experienced it or they've not grown up around it. And I think I really hope and think that this year there's been an awakening, and I think that people now see that you can use your voice, and it's not enough to not be, in today's world, it's not enough to just not be racist. You need to be anti-racist.
I like that you use your Instagram with more than 20 million followers to talk about important questions.
I'm so grateful because I never thought that I would have a following like this.
Really?
Well, you never know. You never expect.
You are our hero. We need to follow you, my friend.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that so much. And the thing for me, which was really warming to my heart, is I have such a big following. And, a large part of my following is from Brazil. And so, obrigado. I really, I love Brazil, and everyone I've met from Brazil, I have so much love for the people there. And if there's anything that I can do to encourage the kids there, the people there who will be going through a difficult time this year, I really hope that maybe winning this championship, or the words that I use when I post things, I hope they help, even if just a little.
This year was very hard to everybody because of the pandemic, the violence, the politics. How did you get to keep the focus and make a very good job on F1 despite of all of this?
Yeah, I think for me, as you've maybe seen over the years, I'm not this, I'm not like the other drivers in the sense, or the normal way a driver does things. I like to do other things outside of the sport, and people would say it's a distraction, but for me, it gives me energy. And I think this year, I've had this focus on helping push for change, pushing for the awareness of the discrimination that is happening out there for the people that may feel they don't have a voice. So I've had that channeled in me, that push, that important fight, that so many people from different walks of life have come together and gone on protests around the world. And I think you've seen this year that people's voices are, the people are what can change, I think, government. People are what can change things in the future, but it takes us to unite. And I've been so inspired by seeing that. It's made me want to fight more and push more, and try to use my platform in the best way I can.
Do you have idea that you conquest your victories was very important for the fight against racism?
This year I realized that I have to be at the front. I have to be at the top of that podium to be able to raise my fist, to be able to raise the flag, to be able to raise my voice and push and spread awareness on issues, push for change. And at the start of the year, I called out my sport. I see everyone out there being quiet, being silent. And then there's been these reactions, and then there's been these conversations, and now as a sport, we are fighting for human rights for the first time, I think, ever. Because as I said, going back to kids, they're the future, and if I can help change even one person's mindset, or the way they go about their future, focusing on their dreaming big, that would make me that would warm my heart to no end.
As a Brazilian, you know that I need to talk to you about Ayrton Senna. Ayrton Senna was a big idol for us Brazilians, and I know you were his fan, and I know you received his helmet. That's it?
Yeah, so I would spend my weekends with my dad when I was a kid. And Roscoe, I used to spend my weekends with my dad, and we watched the Grand Prix, and Ayrton was immediately my favorite driver. And I remember I things I would ask for Christmas was anything Ayrton, helmet, model cars, electric cars, videos and books. So for Christmases and birthdays, I would get videos, documentaries of Ayrton. And I remember I'd come home from school every single day, and I'd put the video of Ayrton on. I think the one particularly I would watch was Racing Is in My Blood. And I just liked to watch how he was driving, how he was steering, how he was changing gears. And then when I was, I think I was 13, I went to McLaren, and I got to see his car. And I remember going, because he drove, the last time it was driven was him. And I remember touching the steering wheel, touching the seat belts, as this young kid, dreaming like, oh my God, this is as close as I've been to Ayrton. And then I came to Brazil to race in 2007, and then I felt his presence, everywhere. Where his paintings on the walls by the road, the flags everywhere, and I knew then that was the closest that I would ever get. But for his family to honor me with his helmet was one of the highlights for me, and I have that in my home, and it's one of my priceless possessions.
Unfortunately, this is my last question. You have a music studio in your house, and I've had in a newspaper that you are making music with the rapper Drake. Are we gonna lose the best pilot of F1 for the music in any moment? That's it?
Well, no. So firstly, I have not done any music with Drake.
No, this is fake news.
Yeah, they make these stories up all the time, but I've not done any music with Drake. I've worked with his producers. They're friends of mine, so that's been really cool. It's a passion for me. I think what's really important, I think for us, is to find outlets, tap into your creativity. I think we all have ability, and we can all be creative, and you have to find a way to get it out. So for me, it's learning something on the piano, it's strumming my guitar, or it's sometimes, it's writing songs and singing. Those are creative outlets for me, and I think people often put you in a box. Like if you're a footballer, if you're an engineer, that's all you can be. And I think it's important that you learn as much as you can, try everything. Even if you're bad at it. I'm not good at the piano, but if I keep training, I'm gonna be good. But I'm not stopping to do music. The music I will do for the rest of my life because it's what I love. And yeah, so.
Thank you very much. We hope to see you in Brazil, and we always will applaud you because you deserve. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Obrigado. Thank you so much. Bye,
De
everyone.
nada, Hamilton.
I hope to see you in Brazil and have lunch and play soccer and dance and play the piano or something. Thank you.
Obrigado.
Bye bye. Amazing. Ei, que beleza. Hamilton, que maravilha. É isso aí. Esse ano a gente não pôde gravar o Espelho por causa da pandemia, mas tivemos a alegria de ter o Hamilton nessa edição especial. Obrigado, que bom. Foi uma edição inspiradora, né? Para isso que o Espelho serve também. Então, estamos comemorando os 15 anos do programa com essa edição tão linda. Valeu, gente. Até breve.
Olha aí os bem-te-vis do Canal Brasil em seu habitat natural.
Peraí, o narrador chamou a gente de bem-te-vi?
Tô ligado, é porque os humanos acham que o som que a gente faz é bem TV.
Isso não faz o menor sentido. Eles não sabem que o que a gente fala é...
Imagina o dia que eles descobrirem que a gente tá o tempo todo falando Tá, chega. Já deu.